Hi everybody, welcome to today's tutorial. This is Map Goat series and you are welcome to this Sunburn production. Today I'm going to be taking you through how I made this Sunburn soap. So you can see my table, you can see the mixing bowl, you can see the palm oil. I'm actually going to be using bleached palm oil. Palm oil has carotene. Palm oil has very wonderful benefits on our sunburn, and that is why I'm using 100% palm oil in this production. You can see my lavender oil in this production. I'll be using lavender, both the carrier oil as well as the essential oil. I'm not going to be using any fragrance in this particular production. So I'm going to be taking you through this production on a step-by-step basis. Today, I actually forgot my video stand at home and I wanted to make this video because I wanted to teach a trainee. So based on that, I decided to hold the camera by the hand and try to make this video. And guess what, guys? It went well. Now, I've just measured my 1 liter palm oil. I'm measuring my 1 liter palm oil. This is a bleached palm oil. Guys, understand that you can bleach your palm oil chemically or by putting it on directly on it. This very palm oil I'm using, I put it directly on it and I'm using just 1 liter. Now, I can decide to use the one that I chemically bleached, but the only reason is because we are treating sunburn. I don't want to put any other malad or anything. I don't want anything to go wrong with the face that is sensitive. So please understand that when we chemically bleach our oil, it is not every production we can use that chemically bleached palm oil to do. So after measuring my palm oil, I'm about to measure my caustic soda. There are several other things that I'm going to do in this production. You can see me putting on my glove. As soon as I'm done with that, I'll be bringing out the caustic soda from the bowl and I'm going to be going ahead with the production. So in this production, I also use titan. Titan is also very good when it comes to our sunburn. This is my caustic soda. I just brought out the caustic soda to show us. I was finding it very difficult to lose it, so I gave it out so that I can be helped out. Now, apart from this, I'm also going to be using my lavender essential oil, like I said earlier. So I brought out my measuring cup so that I can be able to measure the water I intend to use to dissolve my caustic soda. So in this production, I'm using 135 rather, 135 grams of my caustic soda, sodium hydroxide, and I'm going to be using just 350 ml of my water. 135 grams of my caustic soda, my sodium hydroxide, and 350 ml of my water. Now I'm going to be putting that on the screen for us. This particular video is going to be with full recipe. Now, after that, I measured my water. I'm going to be pouring in my caustic soda inside this bowl. But it is always advisable that you pour your caustic soda inside the water and not the other way around. So I poured in my 350 ml water into this mixing bowl and thereafter I poured in my caustic soda. So I'm going to stir the caustic soda, and this particular method I'm using in this production is what I refer to as the semi-hot method. In the semi-hot method, you are going to be dissolving your caustic soda immediately right at the production point. In the cold process method, we are expected to have dissolved our caustic soda days ahead so that the caustic soda will have cooled down. However, in this semi-hot method, I'm not going to pour in my caustic soda as soon as I dissolve it. I'm not going to be using the highest temperature in my caustic soda. And that explains why I dissolved this caustic soda, I left it and started to do other things that goes along with the production. Here is my titanium dioxide. Now, the titanium dioxide, I'm going to be using 10 grams. That is just like 10% of my oil. I'm going to be using this titanium dioxide is actually mixed with calcium, a little bit of calcium because that is what I used in my production. But the measurement of the titanium dioxide in this is far more than that of the calcium. So I'm showing you the scale so that you can see it's reading 12, but the measurement of the spoon is part of this measurement. So for the record purpose, you are going to be using 10 grams of your titanium dioxide. You can use 8 gram and add 2 gram of your calcium, and you can totally use your 10 gram of your titanium dioxide, and guess what? You'll be fine. So I'm going to be pouring in the titanium dioxide into this oil, but before then, I'm going to be adding in my lavender carrier oil. Like I said earlier, I use both lavender carrier oil and lavender essential oil in this production. Lavender oil is also going to do justice to the sunburn, and that is why in this production of sunburn soap, I am using 20 ml of my lavender oil. I just measure the lavender oil straight into the palm oil before the time I continue this production. Now, lavender oil will do justice to the sunburn, and because we have a feeling that our perfume may go wrong when we put it in the sunburn soap, I'm also going to be using lavender essential oil to make this soap have an aroma. Now, you can see me using the spatula to stir my caustic soda. The temperature has reduced, so please, in your production, allow the temperature of the caustic soda to come down, so that you are not going to be pouring it as hot as it is. If you pour it hot, it's not as if the soap will go bad. It's just that the soap will saponify on time. The gelling process, the tracing process will be so fast, and that may not be good for a beginner if you are one. Now, I just poured in my titanium dioxide into the palm oil, and that is going to change the color of the palm oil. So when you are making your soap and you probably want an improved color, you may be advised to use your calcium and maybe your titanium dioxide and the likes. However, titanium dioxide has a lot of purpose and is expensive. So calcium dioxide is cheap, and sometimes when you add calcium, when you add it to your soap, it may have some benefits and it may have otherwise. So please make sure that you understand the recipe you are using, so that you are going to have a very wonderful outcome. You can see me bending the container. I'm trying to show you that the titanium dioxide is settling beneath, and I'm trying to use my spatula to stir it so that it can mix thoroughly with the palm oil. You can see the coloration of the palm oil that is far different from what it is before I added this titanium dioxide. Please take note that as a newbie, maybe you are a newbie, even for those that are not new, the spatula is an important aspect of your production. It helps you to scoop everything from the container, both at the side, both at the top, both at every corner of the container. You can see me feeling the temperature of this caustic soda. You can use your thermometer to check that temperature. That is one of the things we teach in our paid class. But because I want this production to be as simple as it is, I decided not to introduce the thermometer, so that some other viewers will not assume that if they don't have thermometer, they cannot be able to make this production. Definitely, just feel it. I'm putting on a glove. The temperature should just be a little bit low. What that implies is that maybe you have poured in your caustic soda into this water solution. You can wait for like 5 or 10 minutes. As at that time, the temperature of the caustic soda will have gone dim, and you can see that the caustic soda solution, which is also referred to as our lye solution, has reduced. The cloudiness in it has reduced. The look of the water, the lye solution is looking transparent. So viewers over there, take lessons from this and understand that you may not necessarily need the thermometer before you can do this. Now, while I'm still waiting a bit for my caustic soda to cool down, I decided to dissolve my color. I'm going to be using orange color, and in this case, I'm using the oil color. When you get to the working store, when you want to buy the color for production of bar soap like we are doing, make sure you demand for oil color. So I'm going to be taking a bit of my palm oil, and I'm going to be putting it inside a cup, and I'm going to be mixing it with my oil color. Now, in mixing in your color, you can do it before or after. I am mixing this down because I want to get a soap with 2 colors. Peradventure, you are just making your soap with just 1 color. All you need to do is put little palm oil into this cup where the color is, mix it together. Thereafter, you pour in your already mixed color into the solution before you start putting in your caustic soda, before your production proper starts. Another method is that you can dissolve your color inside your oil directly. If we just add the oil in this bowl, for instance, We don't need to mix the color separately inside a cup. All we need to do is take the bit color you want, pour it into the palm oil in the bowl, and use your spatula to turn it thoroughly. The palm oil and the color will mix thoroughly, just like this one in this small cup is being mixed. However, because I have the intention of making a two-colored soap, I mixed my color, left it aside, then continued with my production. Here you can see me pouring in the caustic soda solution into the oil. Now, because I waited enough for my caustic soda to calm down, because I allowed the caustic soda to cool, the thickening rate of this soap production will be a little bit slower. If you allow your caustic soda, if you leave your caustic soda while it is still hot and you pour it into the oil, I told you earlier that the soap will not go bad. The only disadvantage of that is that the soap will thicken on time, and this may not allow you to add other additives that you have in mind to add to the soap. Please take note of this if you are a newbie in this channel. Now, if you have watched this video up to this end, I plead with you to subscribe to this channel, share the video, watch the video and practicalize this. If you come to my WhatsApp, you are going to be able to join our Telegram group where you have access to ask questions, and some other people that are soap makers, a community of soap makers are also available there. Now, here is my lavender essential oil. I want to believe that you understand that there's a difference between the carrier oil and the essential oil. The carrier oil is not as concentrated like this essential oil. Now, the smell, the aroma that comes out from the essential oil is also usually very strong and stronger than that of the carrier oil. So I am adding the oils for different purposes. Even though I know that the lavender oil will help in my sunburn soap production, I am adding lavender essential oil to complement this production. I am adding lavender essential oil to give it an aroma that will make us interested in using it. Now, you can decide not to add any fragrance to your soap. Honestly, I advise, if you cannot afford to buy essential oil, leave the soap without perfume, because this soap is a treatment soap. The soap has a purpose. Therefore, we must not jeopardize that purpose for any reason, such that people that will eventually buy the soap from you will use it and the results that will come out will be wonderful. Now, you can mix titanium dioxide with oil and rub on your sunburn. You can mix the titanium dioxide alone with palm oil and rub on your sunburn on a regular basis, and definitely you will start seeing changes. It is advisable that after bathing with this soap, washing that sunburn affected area with the soap, that you also moisturize the face. You are supposed to use stuffs like aloe vera. You can mix the aloe vera with some stuffs and put it on it. I hope that when I receive messages from you to tell me, encouraging me to be able to tell you how you can do some other mixtures that you can use to follow through this soap for your sunburn. After receiving teach me from a couple of people, I'm going to come up with that moisturizing formula. Now, I just added orange color that I mixed with the palm oil into the soap, and you can see me pouring in my orange colored soap on top of the cream colored one. Now, if you look carefully, you will realize that the soap has thickened more than when I was pouring the cream one, and that was what I was explaining, that we should hold on a little, allow our palm oil to cool down, such that at the end of the day, the soap will not thicken too much and be difficult for us to put inside our mold. Take, for instance, we are producing a bigger batch, a larger batch than this 1 liter. If you allow your caustic soda, your lye solution to cool down very well, you will have a flow, the soap will be flowing by the time you are pouring it into your mold, and that is better for either a newbie or a pro. So I'm trying to bang in the soap into the mold. You do this so that there will be no space in your soap, there will be no gas in it. Everything that has to do with the soap will have blended together. Now, I took my spoon to perform a kind of design inside the soap so that it will not just be a flat kind of soap. By the time we bring it out, the orange one will not just be on top and the white one just be beneath. There will be a little blending inside the soap. That was why I did that. I used my spoon to do a designing format while I was turning the soap. You can reverse this video back so that you can see. Now, that is not the end. My spatula is doing wonder. My spatula is doing all the scraping. No waste is allowed. Scraping out all the leftover soap from the bowl. Now, there's one more thing I'm going to be doing to this. I'm going to be adding my chamomile, will I call it powder? Will I call it flakes? You know, this particular container has my chamomile powder in it. But the chamomile usually adds some granules that we can just play around with. You can check around, you will realize that even the chamomile has a lot to do with our sunburn soap. It has a lot of things to do when it comes to sunburn. So because I didn't have chamomile oil, I decided to make and beautify this soap with the chamomile. So just the shaft of it, I put it inside my hand on the glove and I sprinkled it on the soap. We're only trying to be creative at that. Let's assume you are making the soap for somebody. Let me assume that I'm even teaching the soap. It will look nice at the end of the day. That is because packaging is part of the soap. The color twist that I did, the chamomile flake that I poured on it, the lavender, all these are part of the things that will give your soap, your sunburn soap, an overall view and effectiveness. So here comes our soap. You can see me doing this cutting after a few days. And for those of you that usually ask me about the soap cutter, I have used a couple of soap cutter on this channel. Please refer to the particular video you are talking about so that I can understand the particular soap cutter you are referring to. I will be able to tell you the name and the price. This particular soap cutter that I used, we cut every design the same thing, every of the designs. There are several other ones that will cut different shapes. Isn't it beautiful? We were able to get these 7 bars from just 1 liter. Thank you, viewers, and see you in my next video.